We're back inside the legendary pit, New Mexico and Iona, coming up for you on the UNM Sports Radio Network. We have Lobo head men's basketball coach Richard Pitino alongside, taking on his father, Rick Pitino, in the pit today. Coach Pitino, I'll start with this. I remember back, the Lobos play USF in an empty gym relatively at a neutral site. House and Mashburn have their dads in the stands. They had distractions that day. It would be fair to say you've had some distractions leading up to this game. How has that been?
Yeah, it's the media, and it's not that the media is at fault for it. It's a cool story, and they have to do their jobs, and I always try to be really respectful of the media, fans, etc. So I understand the storyline, but if you were at our practices and you were at our film sessions, you'd have no idea who the coaches are. The bottom line is we have put ourselves in a great position after 10 games. Iona is a top 3 opponent in our non-conference schedule, probably above SMU. But you got St. Mary's we took care of, San Fran we took care of. Now we get a great challenge here. So I'm equipped to handle it. I try to respect anybody that wants to ask questions and bring exposure to our program, but it really has nothing to do with the game.
How was dinner last night with the family?
Good to see everybody. I mean, it wasn't late by any means. Everybody was out of there about 8:30, 9 o'clock, but we're all spread out. We got my mom and dad up in New York. We got others in Florida. I'm obviously all the way in New Mexico. So although the game is good for everybody, it is also great to get everybody together.
And it happens because your father's team is headed to Hawaii for the Diamond Head Classic, and this is en route.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I thought it just made a lot of sense for a lot of reasons. He was looking for an opponent out west. It's a great opportunity for us to get 14,000, 15,000 people for the non-conference, which doesn't happen in a lot of places. So we're trying to rebuild the program. We're trying to rebuild the fan base. And this is it. Although it's annoying for me in a lot of ways, it's great for our players and great for their program as well.
You said that you wouldn't notice that it's you against your father's team in practice, but your guys are aware. Have they been able to stay focused?
I don't think they're so self-absorbed. I don't think they care about me versus my dad. I mean, they know it's a good opportunity to play, so I'm not worried about them worrying about me. They just need to focus on playing their game.
Lobo head coach Richard Pitino is alongside, courtside, New Mexico and Iona coming up in the pit shortly. So Iona's a really good basketball team. Since your dad has been there, they've won a conference tournament title to make the tournament. They've won a regular season title and made the tournament as an at-large. They're 7-2 in his third year. How good is this year's team at Iona? I mean, they had an unbelievable game versus St. Louis, blew them out. St. Louis probably picked 1 or 2 in the Atlantic 10. They also played very well versus Princeton in the second half. So they've got a big swing ahead of them. Going to Hawaii obviously is big. This game is big. Great guards, play very hard, scrappy, block shots, deflections. So it'll be a tough game. Rick Pitino's Iona Gales are a team that will press on occasion. He told the media yesterday, though, that he's not going to press you because of your guards. Do you think they'll do it? No, he's lying. He's pressed every possession for the last 30 years, so he's kidding. That's their game. That's what they do. That game won them, or the press won them the game versus St. Bonaventure. They're aggressive, they are disruptive, and you have to learn how to play through it. It's a 2-2-1. What does it look like in actual fact? Do they end up matching up out of it? Well, it's not a 2-2-1, but I am anticipating, because I know him, that he has a 2-2-1 in his back pocket, so that's why we were reviewing it. It's a man-to-man press. They haven't shown the 2-2-1, but I was on his staff for 3 years, and we're pretty good at it, so that's why we were reviewing it a little bit today. Do you think that he'll mix it up, kind of mix and match? Probably, yeah. I mean, I think they like to keep you off balance, so we got to be prepared for anything. But we've had a really good week of practice. Will they zone you as well in half court? They haven't shown it. They've shown one possession, but we're also preparing for it. I mean, they've always had a pretty good matchup zone at times, so we'll see. Lobo head coach Richard Pitino with us. What about what they do offensively, Coach? Similar ball screen stuff to us. I mean, their 2 guards are kind of like Mash and House, terrific players. They got a great player, Nelly Jr. Joseph. But the key for them is they create offense off of their defense. And they like to get out in transition. You're a team that's not shy about running as well. Can you run against the team that presses you, and can that be also to your detriment?
We have to be smart against it. You know, I mean, it's they're going to speed us up. We need to know when to attack it, when to pull it out and run a set. We've been better offensively in our sets. So, you know, we'll see. I mean, you got to trust in a point guard like Jalen House, who's obviously a veteran point guard. Donovan Dent's good as well. So that's what we've been working on, is attacking with some feel.
There's been a lot made about your son Jack and his love for the Lobos. I heard that he had an interesting comment for your dad regarding what the score might be today.
Yeah, I think he said we were going to beat him by 100 points. So I was like, shh, quiet down. But yeah, he's a Lobo super fan. He's a blast to be around. It's so much fun for him to be a part of it, and he needs to understand that, you know, we're going to lose. Let's the trash talking to a minimum. You know, he sits in the student section over there, and I'm even worried he's starting to stand like snakes sometimes with his arms crossed. But he's having a blast. It's such a fun community to be a part of when you're winning.
How is his relationship with your father? I hear he calls him Pop-Pop.
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, it's, you know, my dad, obviously everybody loves the basketball storyline, but he's a great father, great grandfather. So they have some fun banter back and forth.
What would it mean to you? You've downplayed it significantly, but this is your third shot at one of your father's teams, and you get him in your building. It'd be pretty cool to get a win. Obviously, you won it for your team. How might it feel for you?
It has nothing to do with me. It would mean we have a quality win. It would mean that we're 11-0. Do I care about beating my father? Not even a little bit. Like, I really don't. There's none of that. He's had a remarkable career. Although young, I'm in year 11. I've had a lot of ups and downs, which you all are going to have. So, no, I'm not. That means nothing to me. What it means is we beat a team who's mid-30s in the net and who's only going to win more games moving on.
He seems like he's been so supportive of you. He even told the media this week that if you win, he's going to be so proud of you and your team. What about what he has meant to you over those 11 years?
Well, my whole family has meant a lot to me. I mean, we talk about my dad a lot, but my mom, my dad, my brothers, my sister are all very supportive. It's a tough profession, and I've had highs, I've had lows, and they're the biggest Lobo fans out there. So it'll be great after the game that we can go back to cheering for Iona and cheering for New Mexico, because, you know, he was my first call when I got offered the job, and he was 100% all in on taking this job.
Coach Pitino, best of luck against Iona. Thank you for the time.
Thank you.
Lobo head coach Richard Pitino, our guest. We're back pregame. New Mexico and Iona coming up on the UNM Sports Radio Network. They have 6 seconds left. Here's Clayton. They're down 8. A deep 3 on the way. Back rim, no good. Rebound Morris Udeze, and that'll do it. Lobos 82, Iona 74. Final. Father and son with an embrace at center court. Richard Pitino beats Rick Pitino for the first time ever.
He shook
what a
his
night.
hand, and he said, "I'm happy for you." I'm a lip reader. I saw that. Good job, son.
Lobos 82, Iona 74. Final. New Mexico 11-0 on the year. We come back with a post-game show next in the historic pin. Richard Pitino, in his third try against his Hall of Fame father, Rick Pitino, wins it. The Lobos win it. New Mexico 82, Iona 74. Back with a post-game show next on the UNM Sports Radio Network. 82-74, Lobos defeat Iona. We're courtside post-game in the legendary pit. Your post-game show brought to you by the Albuquerque Downs Racetrack and Casino. Winning entertainment, including simulcast racing, live music, dining the best games, and more. The Albuquerque Downs Racetrack and Casino. Lobo Louie knows 11-0, baby. He's got the whiteboard out, and he's showing it off here on Bob King Court. Well, going to be a little longer to get Coach Pitino tonight, simply because he went and did television first. National broadcast on FS1. Lobos improved to 11-0. And an embrace between Coach Gonzalez and Coach Pitino on the court right there. What a night for New Mexico.
TV has a little more precedent over radio, especially national. Listen, this is national television. New Mexico's on the map, baby.
Coach Pitino heading our way. Lobos 82, Iona 74. What a night in the pit. UNM knocks off Iona. We're courtside in the Albuquerque Downs Racetrack and Casino postgame show. New Mexico 82, Iona 74, the final. Coach Pitino, thank you so much for being with us. Congratulations. Your team is 11-0. Way to go.
Yeah, just really grateful for our fans. Phenomenal, and I really mean it. We're one of the best fan bases in all of college basketball. Been through a lot, but we're one of the best out there. Very, very grateful for my father to play that game. He did not need to do that, and it just shows you that although he's trying to beat us, he's a Lobo just like everybody else, because it was him. Now, we're good, and we're 11-0, but the draw of that means a lot to everybody, so very appreciative.
Coach, congratulations. Take us through the battle. Take us through what was the toughest part about the Iona team. I mean, they come in, they're gritty.
They're really gritty. They're really tough. They were rebounding the ball extremely well. What we did at the end was we just made the right play when we needed to. They were scratching and clawing, getting offensive rebounds. They're so scrappy and tough. We just had to stay the course, but that team's not going to lose a lot of games.
No.
They obviously go to Hawaii now, so 11-0. I mean, what can we say? These fans are awesome. This team is letting me coach them. Really appreciative.
I thought that down the stretch, you had two veteran guys in your backcourt who are willing and ready to make plays and take important shots. Mash didn't have a great shooting night. He hit a tough, deep, contested jumper over here from the left wing. And then Jalen House off the dribble, that little runner, that floater was unbelievable. Just huge buckets down the stretch.
That's what you need. You need your veterans to make big plays at the end. I thought Mo with a great pass to Javante on the dump down, right at the late clock there. They're tough. They're big. We're small, and they're big and strong and physical. But you need veteran guards. That's the key. And Mash and House down the stretch were great. We needed to get some rebounds when we needed to. We got a couple steals. So it was a fun game. I mean, this week has not been fun at all. And a lot of emotions are just appreciative. But more than anything, we just had to find a way to get a win. Not for me versus my dad, none of that. We had to find a way to keep this momentum going.
Coach, were you surprised by anything that the team did today? I mean, you knew that the Iona team was going to come in and be aggressive and trap on inbound plays, and sometimes, a couple times, the Lobos struggled getting the ball inside. Was that
they played a little more zone. Now, we prepared for it because I know the way he is. They only played one possession of zone the whole year, but I felt like they would play some zone, and I thought we attacked it pretty well. We got a little bit stagnant at times. We knew they'd press us. That's their identity. So they're really, really good defensively. We can learn a lot from them. But other than that, no, there wasn't a whole lot different. I felt they'd go a lot of zone, and they did.
So consecutive games where you've played a team with a really big front court, and it has changed the way you've had to play a little bit. What have you learned about your guys? Because, the adversity of your front court not being able to dominate the way that it has, you figured out a way to win two of them in a row.
Yeah, you just got to scrap. I mean, the teams are only going to get bigger and more physical as the game goes on. And now it turns into offensive rebounds, loose balls, making a play, a pass out of the post, Javante finishing it, little things like that. Like scouting, everybody's going to know what you do as you get into conference. You got to be able to read what the game gives you. Okay, they're going to play zone. These are their core fundamentals. They're going to down it, and I thought our guys settled in pretty good.
Coach, talk about how important was the bench today? I
thought KJ was terrific. He has not really played great. He had a little thumb injury. I even thought Sebastian was great. And Donovan Dent is just a terrific, steady hand. So we need those guys.
Yes.
We need everybody.
Yes.
It's hard to win. And now that we're 11-0, people are going to be gunning for us. So just stay humble, stay hungry, get back to work tomorrow.
KJ, 13 first half points, made big shots from distance, was fantastic. There was even a possession, we remember it distinctly, because Donovan was standing right in front of us, Coach, and the fans were starting to get restless because the shot clock was running down. He never panicked, and then he just beat his man off the dribble and took it right to the rack.
He's really good at that, and our big guys are doing a good job of sealing. But, yeah, he's real, like we talked about, he's just smooth.
Yes.
He's got to get a little bit better defensively, but part of that is just House is so darn good. But, yeah, that was a big play down the stretch because they got us out of rhythm for sure.
So I couldn't wait to ask you this question because obviously the front courts are a little bit different, but both of them had size, USF and then Iona. And you chose to use your bench differently in terms of it was Sek off the bench against USF. It was Forsling off the bench here tonight. Matchup-oriented or other things going on? What about the choice there?
Zone. You know, Bream is not great versus zone because he just had to have the ability to shoot the ball. Because when the ball goes middle, they match up. It's not like a traditional zone. So they're going to go man-to-man. So I wanted to be able to go Josiah a little bit and then Javante with the 4-guard deal. So really, really good. I mean, I thought everybody's got to be ready. And Josiah competed his butt off for sure.
Okay, you already did TV. You've done radio. I know you've got the media upstairs. The press room's waiting. Congratulations, 11-0. Yeah, Prairie View A&M in 2 nights for a non-conference slate, undefeated. Heady stuff, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, let's remember where we were just about 17 months ago. And, you know, our guys, they're really fun to coach. Like, they get wacky at times, but they play hard. I think this community appreciates the way that they play because this is a community with great pride. You can't come out here with 14,500 and not appreciate what they're doing. So our guys played great.
Congratulations,
Good job, Coach.
Thank you.
Lobo head coach Richard Pitino, courtside post-game. Local bank, strong relationships, New Mexico Bank and Trust enriches lives one customer, employee, and community at a time. See how at nmb-t.com. New Mexico Bank and Trust, your game sponsor tonight. Okay, we come back post-game in the pit. Lobos 82, Iona 74. New Mexico 11-0. Lobo basketball on the UNM Sports Radio Network. Back on the Albuquerque Downs Racetrack and Casino post-game show, winning entertainment including simulcast racing, live music, downing the best games, and more. The Albuquerque Downs Racetrack and Casino. Lobos 82, Iona 74. Final. Talked with Richard Pitino, the Lobo head coach, pregame hunter, and probably close to 20 family members, family friends on hand here in the pit with Rick Pitino, his Hall of Fame father, in the building. And everybody in the Pitino family headed west for the Diamond Head Classic in Hawaii as Iona will travel and play in that event over the Christmas holiday. This was really a family affair, and you could see the son/grandson, Jack, celebrating over there on the opposite side of the court on top of the Dasher boards as his father's team beat his granddad's team 82-74. Really neat experience in the pit here tonight.
First of all, it was great having a legend like Rick Pitino to come into the pit and challenge his son's team. I mean, that in itself was fun. And then, of course, to see the Lobo team grow at 11-0 as they have in such a short period of time in a 2-year stint, right? Coach's second year. Wow. I mean, He could chase his dad. I mean, he wins like this.
Actually, he said it yesterday when he spoke with the Albuquerque media. He said, I think that my son is already ahead of me. And it was an interesting point he made. He said, when I was my son's age, I was not humble. And my son has the humility. He said that is a key to success. One of the secrets to success that I didn't learn until I got older. He's already ahead of me in that vein. And you know what? He was already coaching a high school team when he was in college. And so he even got ahead of the game that way, too. He's on his way, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. I mean, you could see it. I mean, we've sat side by side with him and watched him do this in a short period of time, and
he's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Well, the quiet assassin is alongside courtside on Bob King Court here inside the pit. Lobos 82, Iona 74, the final. KJ Jenkins is with us. KJ, congratulations, man. What a big win for your team. How you feeling?
Thank you for having me. I feel good. It's always good to get a win and do a lot to contribute to the win. So it was a good day to be out here on the court. Almost a sold-out crowd. Pitino versus Pitino. It's rare, so it was amazing.
Has the group, the team, been together for a couple of minutes yet here post-game? What's it been like?
We got some music blasting up there. Everybody's jumping around. So we having a good time up there right now.
That's good. Celebrate. You got to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, tell me walk us through when you got on the court, how'd you feel? I know you had, a little thumb or something happened in practice, but it seemed like it didn't bother you. It seemed like your stroke was there. You stepped into it and knocked it down, felt comfortable.
Yeah, so as y'all know, it's hard to my percentage is not there from the three-pointer, but I'm staying confident. I'm staying hard in the gym. I'm working every day. My teammates are trusting me, and you can see it. They see me in practice, how hard I work, and it escalates to the game. And I hope this trend can keep going in the conference because I'm going to stay confident. I'm going to stay looking for the shots. I'm going to stay aggressive, so I'm not shying away from anything.
Listen, they played a zone. You got to be licking your chops.
Right.
Yeah, you come out there, hey, you're the zone buster, man. You knocked it down. I liked when your first shot, you could just tell. You stepped right into it, just shot it.
Felt good.
Yes.
Felt good. I was too open not to miss it, so I'm glad I made that shot first.
Good job.
So 13 first half points. You get it going. You start to feeling it a little bit, and it looked like, you really settled in. There haven't been many nights like that so far this year. What was different tonight?
Nothing different. I just I approached the game the same way. Coach ran some good play calls. My teammates, like I said, they kept trusting me, and I'm just staying confident. I'm not caring if I miss, and that's the main thing. I'm not trying to aim the ball, try to, aim it in there to knock down the three, get my first one going. I'm just shooting it, man, and that's what I do.
You know what? I said this 100 during the broadcast. I've told you this before, and I see it every day in practice. Your teammates, there's no doubt in my mind, in terms of just a pure three-point shooter, you're the best one on the roster. Mm-hmm. It hasn't always been that way numbers-wise, but I just keep waiting for literally an explosion. And the Lobos haven't shot as many threes this season, but they're going to need some more games like this from you. And I guess, are you pumped about that? Are you excited about that based on what happened here today?
Of course. It's good to see that ball go in. I had a lot of family come out, so I'm glad they got to witness it. But as you know, you see it in practice a lot and how hard I work. It is frustrating when the ball can't go in sometimes. So it's always great when that ball gets to go in and you see your hard work pay off.
But I see you do more out there than just shoot the ball.
That's what I'm saying.
I see you do more out there. I mean, that pressure. Talk about the pressure Iona gave you guys defensively. I mean, you guys were able to handle that.
Right, that team didn't go away. I know they had some words going into halftime. They came out and proved it. What type of team they are. Of course, they're at the top of their league. I would be pretty confident that they win their league. So they're a tough team. They're very stronger than I thought, but they applied a lot of pressure on defense.
But you guys handled it.
We handled it. We handled it as a team.
Clutch. Absolutely clutch. Did you guys expect to see this much zone? I mean, they zoned you pretty much the entire game.
Right. We didn't expect this much. We knew a little zone would come, but personally, I didn't even expect this much zone would come. So, like I said, Coach Pitino did a great job of calling plays over here, and it was a loud arena, so it was hard to get the play calls, but we executed down the road.
I think it was right before the end of the first half. They called his number, top of the key.
And Iona was on a little run, right?
You remember that?
Yeah.
Big
job,
shot at
man.
the horn.
Happy for you.
Yeah,
thank you. The toughest one you made, I thought, was over this end off the bounce. Mm-hmm. Really difficult shot. But I guess that's got to be part of your game because they're going to run at you, right? Because they know that you're a three-point shooter?
Right. That's, of course, you got to have counters to everything. That's about basketball. And being a good player, they have counters to everything. You get scouted, and you got to know as a good player, you get scouted one way, you got to have a counter to fix it. So that's the main thing. I got to counter and make a play somewhere else.
Last one, I got to follow up. You said family from Georgia. How many folks came to town?
I got about 14 here. 14.
Wow.
Family, friends, family. They all consider family. So, yeah, it's family. Yeah.
And they picked the Iona game. Why not, man?
Man, I'm glad they came to this one. This is the pit right here.
It was lit.
It was lit.
That's probably your first pit game.
Yeah, this is the real. I mean, New Mexico State we would have had it, but
Mexico State last year too.
That was. But you feel me? Yeah. It was good. This was the pit right here. I got to experience it.
Congratulations, KJ. Great performance.
Thank you so much for having me.
KJ Jenkins off the bench, huge star in the Lobo win over Iona, 82-74 in the pit. Final break. We come back to wrap it up on the other side. Lobo basketball on the UNM Sports Radio Network. Inside the legendary pit, post game. Lobos 82, Iona 74. Final, UNM 11-0 for the first time in 10 years. What does it mean? New Mexico extends a home win streak that dates back to last season to 10 straight. The last team to start a year 11-0 was the 2012-2013 team. They started 12-0. The Lobos can equal that with a win over Prairie View A&M in their final non-conference tilt on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. in the pit. Lobos came in at 21 in the net. Iona at 38. You'd expect that number to improve potentially. The Lobos also extend to an 11-game winning streak, the longest overall winning streak for a New Mexico team since 2012-2013 when they started the year 12-0. My broadcast partner is Hunter Green. I'm Robert Portnoy. We're post-game courtside in the pit. Lobos 82, Iona 74 is your final.
It's time for our adjustment of the game, brought to you by The Joint, the official chiropractor of UNM Athletics. Hunter, what was the Joint chiropractic adjustment of the game?
House?
What was the adjustment?
Oh, the adjustment. You caught me off guard.
The adjustment.
I'm still celebrating over here.
That's okay. All right. You've got people coming up to you saying hello, people we haven't seen in a long time. All good, partner.
Go ahead, you know what?
The
Iona Gales, they threw that zone, and the Lobos were able to adjust. They hadn't seen a zone like that all year, and that was the adjustment of the game.
How did they handle the zone? How did they attack the zone? What did you see them do to beat the zone? Because they saw it almost exclusively tonight.
Well, first they started with the ball movement from side to side, but then they got some ball penetration from House, especially in the second half.
Okay, time for our defensive player of the game, brought to you by Theta Point. Make cybersecurity a team sport. Add Theta Point to your team to increase your defensive posture. Who was the Theta Point defensive player of the game tonight?
That would be Jalen House.
And was it his on-ball defense? Was it his anticipation? Was
all of that? His deflections, his energy. I just thought. And then listen, that Iona backcourt is tough. I mean, with Jenkins and Clayton. I mean, those guys, Clayton. I mean, they're tough guys. And I mean, he probably hit the floor 15 times. House. I mean, he gave up his body a lot of times. He deflected passes. I thought he did it all, and his energy was why he was the defensive player of the game.
Lobos 82, Iona 74, the final score in the pit. Let's take a quick peek at some numbers. Game high score, Jalen House 22, 11 for 11 from the foul line, Hunter. The Lobos got 17 from KJ Jenkins, 13 of those in the second half, 6 of 9 from the field, 4 of 7 from long range, 13 from Udeze, 6 of 8 floor after a tough shooting night against USF back on Monday. Remember, he went 3 out of 10, so a really good response by Mo. And remember, he played very limited minutes in the first half because of 2 fouls.
Yep.
A dozen points for Jamal Mashburn Jr. as well, 6 of 8 from the free throw line. And the Lobos also got 4 points from Dent, 2 from Forsling, and Javante Johnson. 5 assists for Jalen House, by the way, in this contest to go with his game best 22 points. 5 assists for Donovan Dent off of Coach Pitino's bench as well. Joseph, 21 to lead Iona, 14 points for Clayton, though the only 2 in double figures. The Lobos shoot 56% from the field to Iona's 41, 5 of 17 distance for UNM, 29%. Iona was just 3 of 24, 13%. That's a number they're going to look at. They shoot the 3 ball on the year at 36% for the season. And then, of course, UNM makes more foul shots than the opponent takes. They do it all the time. They do it again tonight. 21 of 29 at the free throw line. UNM 13 of 16. Iona, that's massive.
That is. That was huge. I mean, that's what the Lobos do. I mean, they score it in the paint at a high clip, and they scored at the free throw line.
Total rebounding battle, 36-35 Iona. The Lobos were outdone on the offensive glass, 14-4 by Iona, so they win second chance points numbers 18-1. Think about that. You lose second chance points 18-1. You still win by 8. Now the paint points 44-42 Iona. Fast break points 15-11 Iona. Bench points 24-23 Iona. So when you look at all those numbers, where was the game won? It was won at the foul line.
Free throw line.
Yeah, absolutely. The Lobos convert 21 free throws to Iona's 13. And also, UNM did a great job sharing the basketball tonight. 19 assists on 28 field goals.
I noticed huge. That because Iona was scoring, but they weren't assisting. A lot of those guys were taking it on their own, but a lot of the New Mexico points were scored off of assists. I mean, guys were finding their teammates.
And they took a little punch from Iona in the second half. Yeah. It got down to a one-possession game. Yeah. And UNM never wavered.
No, they didn't. I tell you, what I really like about this team, there's 2 things. One is their ability to adjust. They could play half court. They could speed you up. They could play, full court, run up and down. That adjustment, ability to do that, and then their bench play. As the bench starts to develop and get better, this team is scary good.
Lobos win it 82-74. That'll do it for us. On-site engineer Michael Carlisle, producer and engineer Stephanie Griffin. I'm Rob reporting on my broadcast partners Hunter Green. Next up, Prairie View A&M comes to the pit. That's 2 days from now. It's a Tuesday night in the pit on the 20th of December, final game before the Christmas break. 7 p.m. tip, airtime 6:30. Lobo basketball pregame show. New Mexico looks to finish an unbeaten non-conference slate at 12-0. The Lobos are 11-0. They remain one of just 5 unbeaten teams in all of NCAA Division I college basketball. And UNM knocks off Rick Pitino, the Hall of Fame head coach and father of Lobo coach Richard Pitino and the Iona Gales, 82-74. Can't wait for Tuesday and a chance to finish the non-con slate 12-0, Hunter. How about that?
Hey, it's doable. It's right there. Tuesday, be here.
Mo Udeze said we're speaking it into existence.
That's right. You love that.
Yep.
Yeah.
1 win away. That'll do it for us. Your final score for the final time as we put a ribbon on a Lobo win over Iona. New Mexico and Richard Pitino knock off the father, Rick Pitino, at Iona. Lobos 82, Iona 74. So long, everybody. You've been listening to Lobo Basketball on the UNM Sports Radio Network.